Have you ever wondered why some people wake up with a razor-sharp mind while others feel like their brain is stuck in slow motion, even after coffee? In Japan, tiny apartments, quiet streets at night, and a culture that obsesses over small details created a completely different way of sleeping. What looks like a simple futon on the floor or a cup of warm tea before bed is actually part of a system designed to reset the brain like a nightly reboot. The strange part is that these habits were not invented by biohackers or Silicon Valley. They emerged from centuries of everyday life, shrines, tatami floors, and an almost religious respect for rhythm. While the rest of the world tries to hack sleep with gadgets, the Japanese quietly use ritual, environment, and posture to help the brain clean itself during the night. The result is not just falling asleep faster, but improving memory, focus, and emotional control. In this video, you will see the 7 Japanese sleep habits that restore your brain faster than coffee, and how each one of them affects your nighttime brain chemistry, your deep sleep, and your morning energy. You will also see how you can adapt them even if you live in a noisy city and sleep on a regular mattress. But there's a catch. The most powerful habit of all is hidden at the end of the video, and if you skip it, the rest loses half of its effect. If you are serious about upgrading your brain at night instead of just adding more coffee during the day, pause for 1 second and subscribe to the channel right now. Every week brings a new deep dive into Japanese habits that silently transform health, focus, and energy, and you do not want to miss the next ones. The first habit looks almost too simple: sleeping on a futon on the floor instead of a high, soft, sinking bed. At first glance, it seems uncomfortable, but this thin mattress on a firm surface creates a type of alignment that keeps your spine more neutral and prevents your body from fighting with the bed all night. That means fewer micro-awakenings and less tossing and turning, which gives your brain longer, uninterrupted blocks of deep sleep. In many Japanese homes, the futon is rolled out at night and stored away in the morning, turning the bedroom back into a living room or workspace. This ritual forces you to prepare your sleep environment every evening. Lay out the futon, smooth the fabric, place the pillow in the right position. That simple physical routine becomes a powerful cue for your brain. Now we sleep. Over time, your nervous system starts lowering arousal as soon as you touch the futon. You do not need a traditional tatami room to use this habit. You can start by making your bed firmer with a thinner mattress, or even using a futon on top of a rug for a few nights a week. The key is teaching your body to lie in a stable, supported position that doesn't change every time you move. When your body stops negotiating with the bed, your brain finally has the space to do its real nighttime job: cleaning, reorganizing, and consolidating. If you walk into a typical Japanese bedroom, one thing jumps out: there's almost nothing in it. No giant wardrobes, no piles of clothes, no desk full of cables and screens. Often just a futon, a small cabinet, and maybe a simple lamp. This visual emptiness is not just about aesthetics. It removes reminders of work, unfinished tasks, and clutter that keep the brain on high alert. Your brain is constantly scanning your environment for things that require action, even when you're pretending to relax. A chaotic bedroom is like a to-do list printed on the walls. By stripping the space down to the essentials, the Japanese turn the bedroom into a psychological off switch that tells the brain there is nothing to solve here. You can let go. That reduction in mental noise makes it easier to drift into deep, restorative sleep instead of staying stuck in light, anxious dozing. You can recreate this without changing your entire house. Remove everything from your bedroom that is not related to sleep or intimacy: work laptop, stacks of paper, random boxes, even that chair full of clothes. Think of it as building a tiny, quiet sanctuary where the only job of your brain is to disconnect. The less your bedroom looks like your office or your storage room, the faster your thoughts stop racing at night.
Another subtle Japanese habit is the obsession with fresh air and comfortable, slightly cooler rooms at night. Windows cracked open, small fans, breathable bedding, and seasonal futons help keep the body from overheating under thick blankets. This matters because your brain's internal cleaning system works best when your body temperature drops slightly at night, which is exactly what a cooler environment helps achieve. In Japan, bedding often changes with the seasons. Lighter materials in the warmer months, thicker but still breathable layers in the colder months. This is not just about comfort, it supports the body's natural circadian rhythm, letting core temperature fall at night and rise again in the morning. When that rhythm is respected, the brain cycles more efficiently through the stages of sleep that restore memory, learning, and emotional regulation. To use this habit, stop thinking only about comfort and start thinking temperature choreography. Avoid heavy synthetic blankets and switch to lighter layers, especially if you tend to wake up sweaty. Keep your bedroom slightly cool and allow a bit of airflow if possible. When your body is not fighting heat, your brain spends less effort on regulating temperature and more on deep cleaning and repair. Japanese nights often start with a small, quiet ritual. A warm drink served in a simple cup, held with both hands, sipped slowly. It might be a low-caffeine tea, roasted barley tea, or a gentle herbal infusion chosen for night. The drink itself is only part of the story. The other part is the way it is consumed, sitting, present, with no rush, no screens, no multitasking. This short ritual acts like a bridge between the chaos of the day and the stillness of the night. The warmth in your hands, the slow breathing while you sip, the repetitive action of bringing the cup to your lips all send messages to your nervous system that it is safe to relax. Instead of suddenly trying to jump from hyper-alert to asleep, you gently descend, step by step, into a calmer state that makes falling asleep faster and staying asleep easier. You can adapt this habit without any special ingredients. Choose a warm, non-stimulating drink and give it 5 minutes of your full attention before bed. No phone, no TV, just you and the cup. Over time, your brain will attach that simple act to the feeling of winding down. The drink becomes a kind of button you press every night to tell your body we are closing the day. In many Japanese homes, the pillow is not a big, fluffy block that swallows your head. It is smaller, firmer, sometimes filled with materials like buckwheat hulls that adapt to the shape of your neck. The goal is not softness at any cost, but stable support that keeps your head and spine aligned. This reduces neck tension, breathing obstruction, and small pain signals that can repeatedly pull you out of deeper sleep stages. When your neck is supported in a neutral position, air flows more freely and your muscles can relax without collapsing. That combination reduces snoring and micro-arousals that fragment sleep. Even if you do not remember waking up, each tiny interruption forces your brain to climb back up from the deeper stages, interrupting the processes that clean waste products, stabilize memories, and reset emotional circuits. You can test this habit by experimenting with a smaller, firmer pillow that supports your neck rather than just raising your head. Try lying down and noticing if your throat feels less compressed and your jaw more relaxed. Sometimes a small change in pillow height or material transforms the way you breathe at night. When the body does not need to fight for air, the brain is free to dive deeper and stay there longer. Even in a high-tech country like Japan, there's a growing awareness that the light from screens at night is a silent thief of sleep. Blue heavy light from phones and laptops tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, suppressing melatonin and pushing back your natural sleep time. People who embrace more traditional Japanese habits often dim the lights, switch to warmer tones, and create a calmer atmosphere long before the actual moment of sleep. In practical terms, that means setting boundaries. Screens off at a certain time, bright ceiling lights replaced by soft lamps, and activities that do not involve constant stimulation. Reading, gentle stretching, preparing the futon, or even taking a brief bath become the final chapters of the day. The result is that melatonin rises earlier, sleepiness appears naturally, and the brain can enter deep sleep sooner instead of wasting the first half of the night in a half-awake state. You do not need to imitate this perfectly to feel the difference. Start by choosing a light curfew time, maybe 30 or 60 minutes before bed, in which you avoid bright screens and harsh lights. Use that window to set up your sleep environment and do
Calm activity. You will notice that falling asleep stops being a battle and starts feeling like the natural continuation of your evening. If you want to go even deeper into how Japanese habits shape focus, discipline, and mental clarity during the day, pick one of the videos recommended here on the side and watch it right after this one. Choose the one that best fits what you're struggling with now, whether it's stress, productivity, or emotional balance, and see how these habits connect in ways most people never notice. You may have heard of inamuri, the Japanese practice of taking brief, socially accepted naps in public or at work. It looks strange to outsiders, but behind it is a recognition that the body and brain sometimes need short resets during the day. When done properly, these micronaps are short enough to avoid grogginess, but long enough to restore alertness and protect the brain from accumulating too much sleep pressure. Instead of glorifying constant wakefulness, this habit quietly says, if the body asks for a pause, listen. Those pauses prevent the desperate late-night revenge scrolling and the dependence on ever-stronger coffee shots to push through the day. The brain that received a small reset at midday does not arrive at night completely exhausted and wired at the same time. It is tired in a clean way, ready to drop into deeper sleep faster. You can adapt this by allowing yourself controlled micronaps of about 10 to 20 minutes when possible, especially during long mental tasks. The key is to set an alarm, keep it short, and treat it as a deliberate technique, not as a sign of weakness. Over time, your nightly sleep becomes more efficient because your brain is not operating at emergency mode all day long. What makes Japanese sleep habits so powerful is not just what happens at night, but the rhythm of the entire day. Regular meal times, consistent work hours, and routines like bathing in the evening all anchor the circadian clock. When your internal clock knows roughly when you eat, work, and rest, it prepares hormones, temperature, and energy levels in advance, instead of reacting in chaos. Think of your body as a train system. If the trains run on time, the entire city works better. In many Japanese routines, morning light, structured activity, and evening quiet form a predictable pattern that teaches the brain when to be fully awake and when to fully shut down. That clear contrast between on and off is exactly what most modern lives are missing. We blur everything together and then wonder why we cannot sleep. You can begin aligning your own rhythm by choosing fixed anchors, wake-up time, first meal, main work block, and the specific start-of-the-night routine. Keep those anchors consistent even on weekends as much as you can. The more predictable your day becomes, the less your brain has to guess when it is allowed to rest deeply. Coffee is great at one thing: blocking the receptors in your brain that register tiredness, giving you a temporary feeling of energy. But none of that removes waste, repairs cells, or stabilizes memory networks. The 7 Japanese sleep habits work on the opposite side of the equation. They organize posture, environment, light, temperature, and rhythm so that your brain can do its nightly cleaning with fewer interruptions and more intensity. When your spine is aligned, your bedroom is calm, your light is dim, your air is cool, and your evening follows a ritual, deep sleep comes earlier and lasts longer. During those deep stages, your brain's cleaning systems flush out metabolic waste, your emotional circuits process the day, and your memory networks reorganize. That is the kind of restoration that no stimulant can imitate, no matter how strong. The result is that you wake up with genuine clarity, not artificial alertness. Your thoughts are sharper, your mood is more stable, and your self-control is stronger, because the structures that support all of that were repaired at night. Coffee can still be part of your day, but now it becomes a tool, not a crutch. The real upgrade happened while you were not even conscious of it. Trying to copy all 7 habits at once is the fastest way to fail. Instead, think in layers. Tonight, you change 1 or 2 small things. Next week, you add another, and so on. The Japanese system did not appear in one day. It grew slowly from small, repeated choices that turned into culture. You can create your own version the same way, adapted to your reality.
Pick one habit that seems easiest for you. Maybe decluttering your bedroom, setting a light curfew, or starting a simple pre-sleep tea ritual. Commit to that one habit for at least a week, treating it as non-negotiable. Once it feels automatic, add a second one, like adjusting your bedding or experimenting with a firmer pillow. The magic happens not on the first night, but when these habits start stacking. Suddenly, you notice that you fall asleep faster, wake up fewer times, and your mornings feel less like a fight and more like a clean start. That is your brain quietly telling you, this is working. Do not stop now. Most people live in a loop, wake up tired, chase energy with coffee and sugar, collapse at night, and repeat. Japanese sleep habits point to a different loop. Build energy at night, protect it during the day, and use it wisely. When you treat sleep as a sacred ingredient, not as a leftover, your brain stops surviving and starts performing. Imagine waking up and feeling that your brain is not begging for caffeine, but ready for focus, creativity, and calm decisions. That is not a fantasy. It's a predictable result of giving your brain the conditions it needs every single night. The futon, the minimalist room, the tea, the light, the rhythm, they're all tools for one mission. Let your brain finish its nightly restoration. If this video helped you see sleep through a new lens, now it is your turn to act. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who is always tired and living on coffee. The more people discover these Japanese habits, the more we can build a world that respects the brain's real superpower, its ability to heal itself while we sleep.